Troopers and grinders, welcome to Hank's Think Tank, where you hear all my schizophrenic takes on the best and mostly worst in MMA news. Lots of cringe happened over the last couple of days. I'm here to document them all, chart them down, and let you know how I'm feeling, which is usually equally as cringe. But we got a lot on your plate. I've been monitoring the news over the last couple days, and I got some opinions. Griffin, and Griffin, Lois. Will get you the compensation you deserve. And as I put it, with 5 small payments of $19.99, of course. Thank you, Kobe. Hey, Shawnee's here. The leprechaun. You remember the wrestling comment Skate made? Is saying that what wrestler used to say. I love the riddles. I love the poetry you just put there, man. It rhymed very well. I like the rhyme scheme. I love the think tank. Me too. I love the think tank. So you do think Kevin Sullivan was involved? Yeah, that's very interesting, Sean. I'd say I'd go with the guy who'd suffered a bunch of brain damage and was following religion over a smart guy like Kevin Sullivan. Hank that tank. Here's my opinions, folks. We first up to bat, Meredith Brown, the OF girl who accused Alex Pereira of grape allegations. Recently, her friend Jesse has denied any form of ASSAULT from Alex Pereira or his translator Mel. In my opinion, Brown is pretty much fully cooked at this point. She has deleted all of her videos where she made accusations towards Pereira and his team. And everyone that was involved in this apparent incident has deleted their Instagram accounts, which tells me that Alex Pereira might just be suing the OF girl for defamation against him and false accusations, which I personally think is justly deserved for someone attempting to end a single dad's whole life through pure greedy bullshit. But that's just my opinion. It seemed clear to me, and obviously I didn't take any sides at first. I read this on the City Life Discord. I didn't take any sides because, hey, it's a very serious accusation, but I definitely had my doubts regarding who was making the accusation, when they were making the exact accusation, how they were making the accusation, and then the rest followed from there. People called her out on her bullshit. She went back on a lot of her comments. We have photographic proof. Obviously don't know if it's completely legitimate or not. We do have photographic proof, though, that she did say that she was in it for the money and for the exposure to her OF page. And Alex Pereira's friend is saying, why the F you lying? Her own friend is saying, why the F you lying? And at this point, she should be asking herself why the F she's lying. May not get much, though. Well, it's the principle of the thing, Sean. It's good to punish someone for being not just being manipulative and being a liar. And basically, if those accusations had stuck and he was dealing with something in court and she filed the lawsuit instead of him, his reputation would be ruined. He'd have that on his back forever. Even with all the fame, the glory, great family life with his 2 kids, that all might have been thrown out the window if any of those accusations stuck. So it's better that Alex Pereira makes the lawsuits first. And that, by the way, leads me to my next little bit. Hey, Alex Pereira, remember me? Me, Hank Goodman. I was with you in high school, man, all the way down in the favelas in Brazil. That's right. I was by your side. I know how your whole life went. I know the alcohol addiction was tough, but I know that this is BS. You said that you were drinking at the time, but you've been clean forever. Ask me, Saul Goodman. I'm not on any legal substances. Anyway, that girl gave some rotten, indecent lies towards you and your character. So who are you going to call? Better call Hank, because I fight for you, Brazil. And good old Bolsonaro, I fight for you too. And I'll make sure that all those accusations don't stick. I'm going to throw them against the wall and smash them into a million pieces. And then I'm going to sue her for millions of dollars that she's made on the OF. So better call Saul. Yeah, good old Alex Pereira. He might be suing in the recent future. There's been a lot of activity on Instagram, people deleting crap, so it might be inevitable. Because she'd going to sell her soul to the devil to pay him off. Yeah, exactly. Well, she's already doing so right now. And how happy are you about Felony Bennett getting a win after 21 losses? I'm getting to that, Sean. I'm getting to that. That news is coming in soon. Joe Rogan. Yes, I'm going to be talking about Joe Rogan. In fact, that's my next story I got. up for you guys. I never miss a Hank Tank. Thank you, Dirty Hippo. I never miss Dirty. I mean, I do miss Dirty Hippo. I miss when you're not around, pal. Just kidding. I never miss you. I never. But it's good to have you here. Good to have you here. Call me the truth finder. I find the truth, brother. Just like Baron was a time traveler. You hear me? He went back to the late the 19th century. You hear? And he wrote a book about his own father's presidential achievements in the future. So it was predicted this shit. It was inevitable. You hear me? Joe Rogan sold his soul because self-flagellation's been selling better than Ozempic. I agree with that, Michael Bisping. Anyway, that leads me to my next story, which is that Joe Rogan has completely folded, almost instantly folded, under the pressure of the red pills and the old orange man, Donald Trump, after endorsing Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over him on the Joe Rogan Experience. And upon realizing that him and couch humper J.D. Vance are screwed come November of this year. You could look at some of the articles, you could look at some of the polls. It's not looking good for them, and I think even Joe Rogan, who's one of Trump's biggest fans, knows it because he went back on his statements. He endorsed RFK, and now he's eating shit for it from his own base that watches his podcast. And so he made an apology tweet. He posted some Elon Musk Glazer level propaganda on Twitter. Basically, oh, that was the most American thing ever when he put his fist in the air. Oh, I love Trump. He's the big man. The former president here with Dana White in the front row. He's pulling a John Anik, basically. He said it wasn't an endorsement, but hey, we got to hear his opinions at the very least. Yes, sir. Do I like McDonald's? Occasionally when I'm suffering from malnutrition and I'm just crawling on the street and I need something to put in my mouth really quick or I'm gonna die. That's when I like McDonald's the best. That's the best time for me to eat some of that. But yeah, Joe then took a selfie of himself a day later. Sorry, I'm on the wrong timeline. And then Trump basically declared Joe an internal enemy a couple hours later and said, oh, he'd be booed at all the rallies. How dare he betray our movement? And Joe never really, I mean, he always like pretends. He always leans a little bit towards, oh, I side with the orange man and, when it comes to the elections. But now he knows the writing is on the wall and he's veered back. And now Trump is real mad at him because Joe's one of his most public supporters. And so he bashed him. All his Kool-Aid drinkers bashed him. And now Joe Rogan is trying to basically get down on his knees and apologizing. That's what he's doing on his hands and his knees in front of Trump. But then he took a selfie of himself with Shane Gillis, dressed as DET, pretending to be as good a comedian as Shane Gill. I mean, on good terms with Trump. What a gaggle of morons we have in the public sphere, especially in certain pockets of it. But don't worry, troopers and grinders, we won't be dealing with them come next year. Unless you are part of that pocket, in which case, please stay. I need you. I need the exposure. I need those watch hours. Please, I'm desperate. We move on to our next story. Before we go on to our next story, does anybody have any comments? Give me some questions for Hank the Tank. What comments do you have for me? Maybe you know more news than I do. I doubt it. I doubt you know more news than I do because I've been monitoring the news these last couple days. But hit me with your best shot. Come on. I have to leave now. Yeah, that's right, Sean. Get out of here. Who needs you anyway? It's not like I miss you, you big filthy animal. I'm just kidding. No, please. You're my sweet sauce, baby. You're my You're my cash cow. I need you, Sean. Stay in here, pal. Yeah. You like wrestling, don't you? It's me, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I'm responsible for your childhood, Sean. Who do you think hired Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels? It was me, damn it. The grapefruits of steel. You better stay here, Sean, or you're fired. Anyway, we move on to our next big story. I think Sean's going to be a fan of this one. Trump or whoever, that's a Republican in 24. Yeah, that's right. Vote for that man. Just kidding. Don't do that. But I'm staying out of it. That's enough politics for right now. It was in the news, so I had to cover it, troopers and grinders, because even the MMA world is talking about it. Everything's been politicized at this point. No one can just have an opinion that doesn't involve politics or talk about anything that doesn't involve politics. The world's been politicized, troopers and grinders, so be very afraid. We move on to our next story. Can you do an impression of a pirate? Arr, matey, Colby Wiggle, what you doing eating that fruit salad, laddie? Don't you know we pirates like our scurvy? We don't want no vitamin C in our digestive systems. Our teeth need to be falling out by the boatload. Put that Colby Wiggle on the plank. Or I could do Captain Hook. Smeed! Smeed! Get to the ship! Row to the ship! Smeed! Oh dear, Captain Hook. Oh, I'll be there for you, Captain. Oh, yes, yes. I won't kiss your ass to keep my job. Damn it! You're gonna have to join the Kiss My Ass Club, pal. Don't you want to be like good old JR and Pat Patterson? Aren't you in the closet, Sean? Yeah. Vince Kiss My Ass Club is where Rogan belongs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he's in it right now. I think he's had his formal exit from it recently over these last couple days, though, which is a real shame because they had a good thing going. But now I don't think the DT is going to be at a lot of UFC shows in the incoming future, which is such a shame. That was my favorite part of those shows. It was totally my favorite. Anyway, we move on to our next big story right here for all you troopers and grinders out there. I'm chucking a bomb at you. I'm catapulting. So here comes the incoming story. Crazy Horse Charles Bennett just snapped a 12-fight loss streak that he's had since, I'm assuming, his Pride days. Actually, let me look that up. When did that 12-fight losing streak start? Charles Bennett.
Mr. Beat presents...
No. Shut up, YouTube. Anyway, can I do the thumbnail cover? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It's bad. It's bad. There we go. There it is. It's 21 in a row. I thought it was 12 in a row. All right, let's take a look. It started since, I don't want to be wrong here. Yeah, he's been losing since shoot boxing. And his last win was actually in Ryzen, which is sort of freaking crazy. But now he's been demoted to island fights. Oh, he was even in BKFC, Game Bred Fighting. Jesus Christ. Poor guy. In any promotion, he's a freaking loser. How dare you support that cult leader, Mr. Beast? Hey, I'm not supporting Mr. Beast. All I'm saying is that his buddy Chris is saying some strange messages to a bunch of kiddies. However, I will represent Mr. Beast as his legal attorney to defend him against all those dirty liars and his staff out there who are just a big part of the woke culture who are trying to convert their kids. You know, you understand me? They're trying to say that our great honorable #1 most subscribed channel on YouTube, Mr. Beast, is some sort of sycophant. I won't stand for that unpatriotic BS. Better call Saul. I'll sue that little bitch in his staff for everything that he's got. I'm going to track him down to his cornfield. I tell you what. But yeah, Charles Bennett. Back to my story I got for you folks out there. Charles Bennett, Crazy Horse. He snapped a 12-fight loss streak that's been going on forever, for years and years and years. He choked out Justin Howard in a relatively unknown promotion named Island Fights. If you've watched any Pride from the late 90s and the early 2000s, you remember the name Crazy Horse. And no, he's not that guy in the Neil Young band. And you'd remember the name Crazy Horse, maybe not Belal Muhammad's name, but you do know this guy. Remember the name Crazy Horse, Charles Bennett. He fights balls to the wall and always guarantees excitement no matter who he's against. Finally, the MMA gods have rewarded Crazy Horse for his sacrifice with a comeback win. And I'm hoping that he retires after this one. Some are saying that he should be facing Tony Ferguson next, but I think we all know deep down in our hearts that Tony loses to pretty much everyone at this point. He just got subbed by Rear Naked Choke, so you'd think that Crazy Horse would basically do the same thing. In or out of the UFC, I think he loses. I think he's pretty much skin and bones at this point. What do you guys think about the situation? Do you think that Crazy Horse should retire, or should he face Tony Ferguson in his last ever fight in mixed martial arts? Totally. But both gloves down this time. He's a loser, but he fights him versus King Green with throw down. They would throw down. That would be very exciting. It's for Who actually has a legitimate identity in the streets? Is it Crazy Horse or is it King Green? I think Crazy Horse would win that competition. Elite XC. Oh, I see. There we go. That's better. He KG Noons. Do you actually mean homicide, or do you mean he just killed him in the ring? And he knocked out Vanderlei Silva. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Crazy Horse used to be a lot of fun, man. He was great to watch. Very unpredictable guy. Get a payday. Well, I mean, how much is a payday worth getting CTE for the rest of your life? Do you got a tank? Well, you could ask my friends in Stonewall whether I have a tank. They would say yes, I definitely have a tank. In New York, I do. In the cage. Yes, I do have a tank in the cage as well. It's a very hard thing to cart out of there, though, man. It takes like a bunch of forklifts. You got to have like 90 men carrying it on their shoulders like a fucking throne. But yeah, once I'm done when I'm fighting in there, it takes a very manual process to move on with the show. Fergie versus him would get him at least 50K. That's true. That would definitely be a premier fight, probably a main event in any underground independent promotion. People would come in droves to see it, but I highly doubt that Tony would be able to put on any offense. And no matter how much David Goggins trains him or how much he really sparred in practice, Tony Ferguson's the same Tony Ferguson. It's gone, man. It's gone. He's in his 40s too. At that point, you're just slow as molasses no matter what you try to do, unless you're Yoel Romero. That brings me on to my next story I got for you. UFC 304. I mean, UFC 305. Jesus Christ. My brain is on drugs and also stuck in the UK promotion. UFC 305. Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis is happening in a week. And does anybody know about it? Maybe the hardcores do, but seems that whatever heat Adesanya and Dricus have been able to stir up these last couple years has now been extinguished. And because the level of hype I've seen from the UFC fans for this fight is just not there anymore. It's not the same as it was in 2023. Some people don't even know this fight is fucking happening next weekend. Call it bad promotion. Call it bullshit that Izzy's getting another title shot after losing it in dominant fashion to Sean Strickland. Blame it on Dricus's marketability or lack of it, or even just fan burnout. Something is not right with the level of fanfare for UFC pay-per-views, in my opinion. And I think it's starting to show in some of the numbers this year. I believe Dana White or someone else said that 2024 has had some of the worst pay-per-view numbers that the UFC's had recently, that they've gone down instead of up. So that isn't great, is it? Felonies 45, brother. Drugs are bad. Okay. It's easy, okay. Hey, Cartman, I don't need you saying the word fuck in front of all the class. This is an elementary school, okay? Say it with your folks or say it with your mother. Okay. Why would Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson when Mike is 58 years old? Well, here's the thing, Kobe Wiggle. Jake Paul has zero morals. He's in it for a payday. He's always been a Hollywood fucking blonde creep. Just watch some of his videos he's done with Logan Paul. It's clear to me that he's on some sort of steroids as well. It doesn't seem like Jake Paul is the paragon of morality or good virtue. Jake Paul wants to fight Mike Tyson because it's a big payday for him. People would go to see it. He'd win. He gets more stock. Doesn't matter whether it's right or not to fight a 58-year-old man, as long as it gets him some money. That's what the Paul brothers are all about, making a fucking profit. Nothing in terms of quality. UFC 305 certainly will be a spectacle. Izzy supports that crime. Yes, it is true. He watched a lot of Beauty and the Beast and thought he could replicate it at home. Hey, Irish Animal, good to see you, buddy. How's your day been? How are the video game days going? How's it treating you? Am I winning any championships in your promotion? It's a big draw. Yeah, it's really sad that it's a big draw. It's honestly sadistic, but it is a draw. Irish sup, how was Bulgaria, my brother? Bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba dum ba ba bum bum ba 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 ba. Do you remember Rusev, Sean, or as he is known today, Miro, the Bulgarian brute? That's One of my all-time favorites, man. I love Rusev Day. Haven't missed a pay-per-view in 10 years and have yet to pay for one. Based Michael Bisping. Absolutely based stuff from the One-Eyed Cyclops. I haven't had to pay for a pay-per-view in 10 years, buddy, because I've been at the commentary desk this whole time. Or I've been fighting, buddy. And when I got my eye knocked out by Vitor Belfort, they gave me a position I could watch whatever I wanted. I love to go to meth streams, buddy. At least Logan can perform in wrestling. That's true. That is the one good attribute that Logan Paul does possess. But when he's not scamming children, he's putting on decent matches in the ring. Not much else. Long story. Very long story. Well, I hope you tell it eventually. One, I haven't made you yet. How could you, Irish Animal? We had a deal here. What's going on, man? We had a contract. They signed it on the dotted line and everything. Hey, Irish Animal. I don't like people screwing me, you hear me? So that little pinky finger you got, it's going up like the Yakuza, you hear me? You better do the deal and you better make me a character, or else I'm getting your freaking tiny ass off of GTA and UFC 5 for good. Your video gaming days are over. Your soccer league's losing it all, you hear me? I'm burning the stadium down. Yes, I do. They used him wrong in both promotions. Who? Tony or Logan Paul or me? Are they treating me badly in the video game? 2, my all-inclusive ass is still here. All right, well, you better get me in that game really quick, Irish Animal, capiche? Or else I'm collecting the insurance money, you hear me? I think Mike Perry felt tired while fighting Jake Paul. He was tired a little bit, but he was only tired after getting knocked down in the first round by Jake Paul. Here's the thing that you got to admit to yourself, Kobe Wiggle. Mike Perry shouldn't have been in there with Jake Paul in the first place. He was undersized. Jake Paul had a better reach than him, younger, basically every advantage that you could think of. Jake Paul possessed in that fight, just like he's had an advantage in every single other one of his boxing fights that's not involving a professional or has the name Fury. So it was already 10-1 odds for Mike Perry going into that fight. Let's be honest here. And then as soon as Jake was able to land one big stinger on Mike Perry, it was over. I know that Mike Perry was backing him up against the corner and reining in some good shots, and he had decent technique once Jake had nowhere to go. But for the most part, Jake exploited every single advantage he had in that fight, and Mike Perry, I think, never had a prayer. 3, the promotion is over. Damn, man, what happened to it? Did it get sued by the Saudis? Did Turk Al-Sheikh have a problem with it? When will more Office Space hit theaters? I hope it's very soon. I hope it's before Jesus Christ, what is it? Mike Judge has a heart attack. I hope he's able to complete one last au revoir of his career before he passes on. Because let me tell you, man, Mike Judge is my hero. Beavis and Butthead was my shit, still is. Office Space is one of the all-time great comedies and keeps aging like a fine wine with every year that passes. King of the Hill is just meme after meme after meme. And what people have realized over the last couple years is that Idiocracy has actually been a very, very pertinent film as of late. So almost everything that Mike Judge politically commentates about in his works goes on to be a lot more relatable to people decades from when his works are made. So Mike Judge is a timeless being. Let's be honest. If people want to talk about old Baron being a time traveler, Mike Judge is a freaking time traveler because that man is Nostradamus. He sees the future. Rusev, a.k.a. Miro. That's right. Good old Rusev Day. I don't have the fucking brains for that shit. What are you talking about, Irish Animal? You're too young to be swearing like that, Bubbler. I'm gonna freaking spank you, you hear me? You start using that language. I'm gonna smack you right across the face, Bubbler. I ain't Dana White. Oh, yeah, you are. When it's in a video game, you hear me? Better start a new career, start a new mode, you brat. Put me in the damn game, you promised. Beavis and Butthead with my shit. Quit stealing my stuff. I was born before you. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a history major, Sean. My job is to go back in the past before you were even born and to steal and appropriate your shit and talk about it. Past is way more interesting than the present. I know more shit about the past than people who even fucking grew up during that time. So watch it. I know my shit. I'm fluent in 3 languages. Wow. And one of those was German, I believe. And is the other one like freaking Welsh or something? Or a little bit of Japanese? I don't think Duolingo counts as fluent Irish animal. Idiocracy. Ouch, my balls. Yes, sir. Great movie. Irish, English, and stupidity. I vouch towards the latter of those 3 the most. I think you should keep studying that last one. Office Space, The Matrix, Magnolia, American Beauty, Fight Club, God Bless 1999. Exactly, Michael Bisping. Those are all fantastic art films that actually had something to say about society and how it was being run. Back then, movies actually had a point and were more mirrors of everyday culture and used to actually stir people's emotions and make them activists and make them active in their communities and do something about what was going on. But today's movies are more of a product of our culture and our society and our politics than anything else. I do still love The Boys. Still has a great message towards modern day society and what we can do to change it. But everything else, I think, doesn't really have a whole lot to say. The 90s and the 80s, yeah, even the 2000s were way more relevant, and that's why they're still popular. Do I like Seinfeld? Yes, I do love Seinfeld. The 1990s, man, peak of a lot of different things, including movies, not including TV. I think the 2000s were the peak of television, but 90s in terms of comedies probably had the best. Hey, you stuff it in the sack, mister. What was that? It's an expression. I think I've got the monologue to the marine biologist if you want to hear that. Dude, history is my shit. Yes, sir. Howard the Duck. Uh, he didn't he have a really crappy film in the 1990s? I'm pretty sure he did. Really creepy fucking nightmare shit, live action stuff. 8 viewers, let's fucking go. I love Seinfeld, so funny. I'm gonna pull up that monologue from the marine biologist. All right, I'm there. I'm there. Meanwhile, let's see what other people are saying. No chill, Hank, 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 said musical MMA. Baby Baney Hank. Safe, man, safe. Does Trump have a steaming turd on Rogan's face? Elon Musk would love it. Well, I think Elon Musk would want Trump to piss in his mouth instead of shit in it, because as we heard from Trump a few days ago, Elon came to Trump full throated. He endorsed him full throated, guys. He it was like to the brim. It was coming out of his freaking mouth, dude. He couldn't handle all of Trump's load. There were duck tits and Howard the Duck based. Howard the Duck original was a movie my mom liked growing up. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I thought that was a comic book. Hold on. Howard the Duck. Yeah, it's a 1986 film. Oh, it was 1980s. Yeah. Well, it definitely had a pretty lady. But did you see that Howard the Duck cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy, Sean? He was there. I was a kid when I saw them. Yes, sir. Because who wouldn't fight Tyson for $5 million? I do agree with you, but let's be fair here, Dylan. Jake Paul looks for BS fights. It's his jack of his all trades, man. He finds whoever has more disadvantages than him. He challenges them to a boxing fight. I will say that his boxing fights with Woodley were probably pretty scary for him, but ended up knocking Woodley out. And then ever since then, man, he's just been taking any easy fight that he comes his way. He has no fear, but he doesn't really have a reason to fear most of these guys. Forgot to say, Baby Bainey. Thanks for saying it for me. No problem, musical MMA. I'm keeping up the tradition. Who you get to win, Tank or Shakur? Interesting stuff. God, it's weird because Tank has been able to get knockouts against guys where he hasn't looked his best. Like who was that guy that he just faced recently? Let me look that up really quick. Davis. Gervonta, yeah. He faced somebody and he was just getting the crap beaten out of him. And then he got the knockout immediately after getting his shit rocked. Frank Martin was beating the hell out of him, and Tank Davis still found a way to win. So I feel like against a guy like Shakur, who's always backing up and trying to shield himself against the ropes in the corner, he's going to have a lot more opportunities to knock Shakur Stevenson out than Stevenson does him. I am a Stevenson hater, so I might not have the best opinion for that, but I will say, like, without any bias, I feel like Tank definitely has more tools in his toolkit than Shakur does. Maybe Shakur slows it down and makes it another boring fight that the fans leave the arena in the closing stages of. But I feel like at some point Tank Davis is going to hit him with some body shot that's just going to fucking crumple him. I feel like if Stevenson is the coward he's been in his last couple fights, eventually Davis is just going to find his moment and hit him with something big. Favorite probably Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Let me think about that. I've always loved Chocolate Land, the fucking Chocolate River, the trees, Candyland, and then Pure Imagination is obviously one of my favorite songs, not only from that movie, but in general. So that has a lot of good memories. The ending is also great. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. He's in the World Medicare Benefits Division, FFS. Why not take a free million? That's true. A milli. I still say Silva put up the best fight against Paul. He did. That was a close fight. Anderson Silva didn't get rocked too many times in that fight. It was close, but Fury put up the best fight against Paul. He beat him, didn't he? Gonna start calling Jones Daffy the way he ducks. Exactly. Watch out, Donald! It's Tom Aspinall. He's gonna knock your block off. Hank, are you in your sitting room or is it a shed? It's up to you to find out. I think it's a sitting room. Is a sitting room like a living room or just a regular room, or like a bedroom in England? Or is that the lingo for it? Hank, you should get a Discord for Collins. So we have through thorough discussions about wooden doors. Oh, of course, Sniff. I don't know what you could be talking about with those wooden doors. I don't have an inkling as to what you could possibly be talking about there, Sniff. But I support it. I support it. Hank loves chocolate. Yes, I do love that chocolate flavor. You know, I like that persuasion. You know, that's my favorite. That's my favorite when I'm at the frickin' frozen yogurt place. Slow starter versus runner boxer. I got Tank to win because experience. Look at Ryan fight, and we know even without rehydration, Ryan's still going to quit. Tank is a beast, man. Yeah, he is. Absolutely a beast. I feel like Shakur Stevenson and Jesus Christ, Devin Haney are very similar to each other, where they're very tentative. They're very keep themselves very distanced from their opponents. They try to land good shots from afar, but when it comes to actually getting into scraps, they are very intimidated by their opponents most of the time. And I just think Tank has way too much power. He can just hit you with a small shot. Yeah. No. It's neither, man. It's as Jesse Pinkman would say, it's my own private domicile and I will not be harassed. Bitch. Lounge. Hank, that room looks like the workshop of an old watchmaker. Well, yes, I watched the movie Pinocchio back in 1941, and yeah, I saw Geppetto's workshop where he had all his little misfit toys and all his clocks and doohingies and marionettes on the wall, and I just thought to myself, that's a man to emulate. Good old Geppetto. That man can get into the belly of a whale to save his son. Damn it, I'm gonna mimic everything he does. What a kind-hearted man. Your room looks like the 1960s. Well, you know, I got my little puzzle to my right that is all about the 1960s in television. So it's definitely got that retro look. Also, you may not know this, but the house where I'm in was actually built during the Civil War era. I think it was a pear orchard, And eventually it was basically reconstructed by my own family to serve as a modern day household. But it goes way back to the 19th century. It is one of the oldest houses in my community, basically. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Fuck. There we go. Beefcake Drickus wants to feel as if he's a hairless cat. Well, I hope that he spits a hairball onto Izzy Adesanya just so he knows what it's like to be mouth fed by an alpha, by someone who's bigger than him, just so he knows how the puppy feels. Are the walls black or dark brown? They're dark brown. They're just oh god, I think they're redwood. I think they're made of redwood actually. Hey, Jesse. I hope it's not Jesse on fire. I hope. Are you implying that I'm Meredith Brown's friend? Geppetto got kicked out of 109 workshops. Oh, really? And that's why he made his own workshop, right? I actually didn't know that. That's a nice bit of little fan fiction you got right there. It's a nice background origin story. What do I think? What do I think of What Irish Animal? What are you trying to tell me, kid? Jesse Pinkman. Oh yeah, Jesse Pinkman. Hey yo, I got the blue stuff. It's real. You don't understand this about Joe Rogan. He's the devil. You can't keep getting away with this. You can't keep getting away with this. When I spawned, you were doing the domicile line. Thank you, Paradox the Chad. What other lines does Jesse Pinkman have? I forget. Oh yeah. You swapped the cigarettes. Oh god, what else did he say? And you actually poisoned Brock for that asshole, Mr. White. Let me look at that last comment. God, it's way back, dude. Your last comment is last freaking century. You're Irish, English, and stupidity. I told you, man, stick to the third language. Presser will be unintentionally hilarious. Well, here's what I hope happens, Michael Bisping. I hope that Drickus du Plessis pulls a Sean Strickland, where he just unloads all the skeletons in Izzy's closet, because apparently MMA Guru had an interview with that dog cosplayer that Izzy follows on Twitter. So if Drickus knows about that interview and he's able to use that as ammunition, Izzy's fucking cooked mentally going into that fight. So I hope it's fucking psychological warfare on the same level as Conor McGregor against Jose frickin' Aldo. I hope he tears Izzy to fucking shreds and makes him look like a fucking small little boy going into that fight. Just like, don't hurt me. You talked about my dogs again. They're dead. and then Drickus is like, whatever that means. I think I hit a nerve there. I don't like Haney and Shakur. Well, yeah, I don't like Haney either. I don't like Tank either because honestly, he's had his own legal cases for years regarding violence because they don't want to knock out him fight style in their recent fights. Absolutely. Boxing is just boring sports without brutal knockout show. Let's be honest. Well, here's the thing, man. There was actually a good fight recently between Virgil Ortiz and Dohachuk, I think was his name. He's a Ukrainian champion. And they put on a back and forth affair that was a pretty badass fight, as Dana White would put it. And then we had a good knockout from Angela Leo against some other guy, which was contender for knockout of the year, according to some journalists. So boxing actually has had a good weekend this, on Saturday. But the thing is, the last weekend before that with fucking Crawford and Madrimov, yeah, that's definitely the worst of boxing. But it has ebbs and flows. It has its ups and downs. It's really hard to predict whether it's going to be good or not. Guru's DDP vid should be out soon. Yeah, he said that he would post the interview soon. Maybe I can line up an exhibition with Isha if I even actually do make your fighter. Sounds good to me. Ortiz lost, man. 2 knockdowns, but the win. Come on, man. That's robbery. Well, it can be argued that he won the last 4 rounds. I was surprised upon watching it that he never got a knockdown of Bohachuk at any point, but I think he did win enough rounds to win. How do you think of the Tybura versus Spivak fight? Tragedy, a true tragedy. Tybura did exactly what I expected him to do. Frankenstein got on top of Dracula. He reversed the grappling of the polar bear and was doing everything that he needed to do because I knew that Tybura had better counter grappling than Spivak. But then Spivak, apparently he's got the athleticism of freaking Charles Oliveira, because on his back, he pulled a freaking arm bar out of nowhere and just tapped him, which I don't think anybody was expecting, including the guys who picked Sergey Spivak. He's a hell of a fighter. I'd love to fight him. The Mega Powers. UFC Embedded has become the Nina Drama foot fetish show. Dana's a pig, man. Bro, really? Is that what they've been showing? I guess they got tired of Alexa Grasso and now they're moving on to younger stuff. I'll challenge Isha to his first BJJ match. Well, I hope you don't have to eat out of an arm triangle, Sean. Tank, like John Jones does. We know both are hard hitters, knockout artists, yeah, of both gender persuasions. For those of you that haven't already derived this from the entertainment value of Hank's streams, he is legitimately formally educated in theater arts. Yeah, that is true. So I know what to do when it comes to putting on characters, but I got to get some freaking H2O. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back real quick. All right, I'm coming back. Said George St. Pierre. I'm not impressed by Hank's performance. Anyway, that brings me to my Seinfeld monologue that I promised. Wait a minute, where is it? Oh, it's giving me the whole freaking... God damn it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Save the whale, save the whale, save the whale, George, for me. Okay, here I go. So I started to walk into the water. I won't lie to you, boys. I was terrified, but I pressed on and I made my way past the breakers. A strange calm came over me. I don't know if it was divine intervention or the kinship of all living things, but I tell you, Jerry, at that moment, I was a marine biologist. And then the sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to return soup at a deli. I got about 50 feet out, and then suddenly the great beast appeared before me. I tell you, he was 10 stories high if he was a foot. As if sensing my presence, he gave out a big bellow. I said, "Easy, big fella." And then as I watched him struggling, I realized something was obstructing his breathing. From where I was standing, I could see directly into the eye of the great fish. Mammal, whatever. What did you do next? Then from out of nowhere, a huge tidal wave lifted, tossed like a cork, and I found myself on top of him, face to face with a blowhole. I could barely see from all the waves crashing down on top of me, but I knew something was there. So I reached my hand in and it pulled out the obstruction. And then he shows the title list, and then what would you do if you had $1 million? It's a good question. What would I have with $1 million? I'd probably get myself a house, because let's be honest, the average cost of houses in this country is around $1 million, because they cater to the millionaires. They cater to the people who own the housing market. They got people who are in charge. We got our lobbyists. We got our private folks with their private schools and their private neighborhoods. Don't want any more housing getting built on their land. So whatever's left in this country is being sold to the highest bidder. And also, I learned that there are algorithms behind the housing market that guarantee high rent prices and housing prices. So at this point, I'd have to be a freaking millionaire in order to even have a place of my own in this country. So I'd probably use it to survive. You definitely having a danger poo. That's right. I don't know you, but you're cool, bro. Just subscribe here. Love you. No Diddy. Thank you. I love you too, Devins. No Jones. I did see you at that comedy club once, and I was doing inappropriate things. I'm sorry, Devinis, but I've rescinded on those creepy acts. Is that a lobster back lingo? I guess so. It is P. Diddy lingo. What's that mean? Dylan, it's doing a shit on stream as fast as possible. No wipe, and no Diddy either. Dylan is pressing hard. Can you do a jump scare? Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Anyway, we move on to our next bit of MMA news. Belal Muhammad, remember the name, Belal the Bully Muhammad, has been tearing Kamaru Usman to shreds online as of late, especially over Twitter, which is how real men settle their debates. He went after Usman's inactivity, his knees, his losing streak to Leon Edwards, as well as his poorly aged wins against Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington. It's as Leon Edwards' coach said, "Don't let him bully us, son." It would be even, "Come on, Leon. Well, come on, then. You got to pull this shit out of the fire." Anyway, it would be even funnier to me if Bully Belal pulled out a who out of his hat at some point in he and Usman's back and forth, throwing Usman's disses right back at him, or "You should be thanking me for getting Leon out of there. You're welcome, Usman." That's exactly what Usman said to Leon Edwards, I think, when he beat Colby Covington or Jorge Masvidal, and he was like, "Hey, you should be thanking me, Leon. I took care of Jorge Masvidal. We're buddies, man. I took out the guy that you were supposed to beat." I'd love it if Belal said that to Usman. "Oh, I beat Leon. Hey, we should be buddies, man. We took out a common enemy." Anyway, there have also been speculations that the UFC matchmakers might book Belal versus Usman based off the bad blood alone. But if they were smart, they'd put him up against Shavkat and JDM for his next two fights in order to get the welterweight belt off the wrap from Sausage Party as soon as possible. However, Belal has also been getting a lot of social media interactions lately, including for his title win. They did a quick short of him winning the belt, and it had a higher view count than Aspinall winning the belt. So that's very interesting. Maybe this seemingly unmarketable champion is really a blessing in disguise for the UFC. We'll just have to find out in the coming months. Belal is poison, as are his fans. Well, yeah, he might be pay-per-view poison now, but if he has the right feuds, who knows? I mean, here's the thing, Michael Bisping. Everybody's calling Kamaru Usman a star, and wasn't Kamaru Usman unmarketable a couple years ago when he was just winning the welterweight title? And then he had a bunch of blood feuds with guys who were marketable. Then he beat them in highlight reel style, and then he became a star himself. Now, am I saying that Belal Muhammad's going to get a brutal knockout finish against Shavkat or JDM or Usman? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. But if he has the right rivalry with certain guys in the welterweight division, and he does keep going with just his all-out attacks on Twitter and actually gets himself a following, he might actually have a little bit of value. He's definitely has a character. He doesn't have any shortage of words for his opponents. So I think we can only find that out in the coming months. Lol, musical, I'm sure you don't need to be told how that doesn't compute to me. I love people waiting on my stream for much less than needing to shit. Getting a shit on the stream as fast as possible. No. Hey, that's mean, musical. I just got that reference. God damn it, musical. Leave the chat alone. I know that Dylan and musical can sing Kumbaya, but you got to be careful, musical, or else if you take the airline trip to Washington, D.C., you might regret it, Pally. That's all I'm saying, dude. Don't fly over to D.C. Dylan's freaking packing, man. He's not taking shit from nobody. He's unhinged like Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's gonna get out his tools for you. Tools, duct tape, zip tie, gloves. I have to have my tools. How dare they make fun of me? Me, the coolest kid in school, the golden god. Oh, they'll pay. They'll pay. The ultimate prize. Anyway, one last bit of MMA news that I have for everybody tuning in to Hank's Think Tank. Sean Strickland, and this was a few hours ago, recently made some accusations. That seems to be a very common word in the MMA news sphere over the last month. He accused a guy, what was his name? Let me see, what was his name? Sean Strickland accusations. I think his name was Tiki. It was Tiki at some point. Sean Strickland Tiki. He accused him of basically grooming certain members of his gym. Yeah, Tiki Gozan, who used to fight for the UFC and is now no longer affiliated with the company, no longer a fighter, but a manager of an MMA promotion and an MMA gym. Sean Strickland basically said that good old Tiki has been having some strange relations with the girlfriends of people in his gym. I'm assuming that some friends of Sean told him that took place. I'm not sure if those people are fellow Meredith Browns of the world, but I'm assuming they told Strickland that there were strange stories they could tell of their lives getting hurt by Tiki. What the fuck is his name again? Gozan. Ricky Gozan. Wasn't there a wrestler named Ricky Gozan? Ricky Dozan, I think it was, but maybe that name is actually sort of a parody of that name. But anyway, yeah, Sean Strickland has made the accusations on Twitter. He has since deleted that tweet upon hearing that he might end up getting sued by Tiki Gozan and his team for defamation, just like it seems like Alex Pereira is planning on doing. And hey, Tiki Gozan, if you need a lawyer to help you through these horrible accusations from a known skinhead, you better call Saul, because I got your case. I'm a true American. You're a true American. Sean Strickland, he's a freaking liberal. He ain't no true American. So you know what we do when those freaking libs try to assault our character and try to call us things we're not? Better call Saul. Tiki Gozan. That's Sean Strickland. He's such a Karen, man. Whatever he's saying, it's totally not true. It's 72 here, buddy. 72 degrees. That's nice. Want to see a pic? I would not, in case you accidentally end up doxing yourself. Are you the boys that been whacking off my tool shed? Dirty Mike and the boys always have fun in the back seat of Strickland's car. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, it looks like Michael Bisping has his own allegations he has against Sean Strickland. And I don't know, Mike Bisping, you might be seeing a lawsuit in your future, courtesy of Hank Goodman, attorney at law in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So be real careful, Michael Bisping. Am I tired? No, I could keep going, man. I'm as high as ever. I'm on the good stuff. Khabib Nurmagomedov, better call Saul. Let me tell you, I represent you, Albuquerque. Khabib, I represent you, Moscow, Russia. Hey, Khabib Nurmagomedov, I'm a big fan. I've been watching you since 2015. You would have beat Tony Ferguson, I tell you, Cat, because you were in your prime. Tony Ferguson was just a schmuck. He was getting exposed in his last couple of fights before he even lost for the first time, man. You're in your prime. You beat Conor McGregor. How dare he throw that that dolly through the bus? I would have sued him for attack on your character as well as your physical being. And those Russian police, that freaking KGB and Putin want to take your money away for your fights, for your gyms, for your weird simulator games that you keep promoting on your Twitter. You better call Saul, because I'll take all that money back that they had in taxes. Taxes? Who needs that in Russia? They're going to war. What they need is supplies and food, not taxes. Can you do a Bugs Bunny impression? Yeah. What's up, Doc? Pew! Of course, you know this means war. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Rabbit season. Duck season fire. Help me, Saul. Putin has seized my properties. My Lamborghinis are all gone. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Mike Bisping, but I sued for the Lamborghinis. I got them in the back of my office, right behind the American flag and the Constitution, because Saul Goodman knows how to drive a good Porsche. I told the Russian authorities that I was Kevin Costner, and they believed me. And they gave me all their cars, so better call Saul. Yes, sir. Well, 5 minutes out. 5 minutes out. We're almost there. We're almost there. But yeah, Sean Strickland, he made those accusations, man. And what did it get him? A big fat lawsuit, as that one lawyer from The Simpsons once said. Don't you know that Disneyland that the wonderful world, the most magical place on earth, is run by Disney, I'm telling you, Principal Skinner, you better take that title down, and you're headed for a great big lawsuit. And you shouldn't have made an ex-Marine mad. But yeah, man, poor Sean Strickland, always crying. I will say though that Sean has a pretty good track record of outing scumbags in the MMA world. Little did Sean know that he's becoming a scumbag himself, but he usually has a good sense. He's a good judge of character most of the time when it comes to people who are doing some strange things, like good old Ian Gary, good old Cuck O'Malley, and who else? Well, he was on to who was it? He was that guy who fought Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. He understood what was going on with Stephen Bonner as well. Said shit about John Jones, knows all the deets about him. So Sean Strickland, he knows for the most part, man. He knows. And he is probably going to get litigated for this. I think he can counter it by saying that, oh, hey, I deleted the Twitter post. And oh, I'm just making jokes, and I've said this about other people, and they haven't sued me. But yeah, Sean Strickland, he's found his limits when it comes to talking shit about other fighters. But I mean, there's got to be some limit, you know? Are you gonna get GTA 6? I don't know if I'm even gonna live before GTA 6 comes out, man. That that shit's coming out in the next fucking millennium. EA Sports, it's in the tank. EA Sports is unable to make a fun UFC game. That's true. I did enjoy UFC 3 with Connor on the cover. Good memories for me. I just enjoy the general gameplay mechanics, but I think it hasn't been good since UFC 4, if I'm being real with you guys. Favorite color? I've told you it's orange. I've told you it's orange already, Kobe Wiggle. Come on, how many times do I have to convince you? But yeah, so, and then Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor, they keep going back and forth. Neither men have anything of substance to say. It's getting to the point that Conor McGregor is putting on goofy ass hats. They're just, I don't even know what to say, man. They're doing like stand-up routines against each other. It's very strange. Isha was always right. Conor McGregor's never going to fight Michael Chandler. As much as they like to tease it, it's not happening. Just not in the books for it. And then, guys, I have to ask you a question. Do you know about the "Show me the money" meme? That's a meme that's going on, and we've seen Alex Pereira do it, and we've seen Mike Tyson do it as of late. So do you guys, do you dumb little millennials and you freaking Gen Zers know what's going on? Damn TikTokers know what's going on with the "Show me the money" meme. Can you help explain that to me if you are in the know? I ain't gonna dox nothing, you hear me? Do I like Looney Tunes? Yeah, I used to watch that shit all the time when I was a kid. Some of my favorites. I always loved the one where Daffy Duck realized that he was in a cartoon and Bugs Bunny was the one effing with them. And he's like, "Not me, you swamp artist!" It's like, dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we go, laughing all the way. And then he crashes, and then he gets his freaking nose erased off, and like, and then there's one point where he has the whole background black screen just sort of close in on him. He's like, no! Look, Jack, when did we get off to such a rough start? Let's put her there, pal, and let's get this cartoon finished. And then the author, the artist, takes it one step too far. And then Daffy's eyes turn red at some point, and he's like, "And I've never been more insulted in all my life." McGregor is doing a classic Andy Kaufman routine on Chandler. Forever pull his chain. Yeah, he's trying to sucker Jerry Lawler in to come and wrestle him. Conor McGregor is the ultimate women's champion. Just ask his wife, Dee Devlin, whether Conor McGregor can show his dominance over women. He definitely shows his dominance over her, as well as all the other baby mamas in his life. But yeah, he's like Andy Kaufman, where he's always going to pretend like he's in the mood to have a scrap and really start some bad blood. And then he always chickens out at the last minute. Classic McGregor fashion. Yeah, also, he's been one to get accused of multiple things, including actually hitting an old man at a bar once. I'll never let him live himself down for that one. But yeah, fucking Conor, man. Fucking Conor. He's never going to fight. but yet he's always going to be in the MMA sphere. He's like Tony Ferguson. He just won't let it lie down. He'll constantly just, God, man. He'll never be out of the spotlight, which is honestly more of a curse than a blessing for us MMA fans. But I have reached my hour, you guys. I'm getting tired as hell. Maybe I'll give it 5 or 10 more minutes before I say sayonara to all you degenerates out there. What do you got for me? Give me some more, some last stinging questions before I sign off with you guys. You got anything else for me? Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? In the meantime, I'm going to look up some more damn MMA news to see if I've caught up with it. Oh, let me on before you get off. All right, might as well have good old Sean Moody here on the podcast. Hold on. I don't know if I'm going to regret this, dude. Kobe, I'm begging you, dude. Don't get in here, man. No, I'll send it to Sean directly. I'm sure Sean has some fantastic intel for me and some scoops and some breaking news regarding the comings and goings of MMA. I have sent the link to you, Sean, on the Discord, so come right in, buddy. Let it rip. When will the next stream be? I'm going to be streaming tomorrow for Dana White's Contender Series. Yes, that is right. It's a fantastic week 1 of summer program, and including Loner Kavanaugh. Looking very forward to him fighting, and then 2 first-round finishers in the main event. So it's going to be very exciting for as long as it lasts. And it's got a lot of guys who are known for putting on good fights. They started off with a bang. God bless you, Hank, the only reliable source for MMA news. Yeah, I got it all in here. You better attend these think tanks quickly, Michael Bisping, because eventually that brain is just going to fucking shrink to the size of a peanut. And then next thing you know, I'll be on the fucking fritz, dude. So you got to watch me in my prime, man. Find yourself in a pickle? Better call Hank! Yes, sir. I sent you the link, Sean. Where are you, buddy? It's in the direct messages, you sumbitch. There's Moody. Urseg DDP sounds like a disease. Yes, I agree. If you're smart, you stay away from UFC 305 because Australia is crawling with spiders and wildfires and all sorts of diseases. And with all that propaganda being said, here's Moody. What are you doing, Sean Moody?
Kind of mad at you guys.
Why?
Because you in that one fight where that Japanese dude fucking got the win because he passed out, and I was actually originally going for him. Shit, you know what I mean? Because you're kicking my ass, bro.
I know. Hey, I try to give you advice. I try to give you good advice. When I come into your streams, I say, I'd be careful with this one. You don't listen to me, damn it. You don't listen to your teacher.
Yeah. Overweight, so.
No, man, you're like what are you? You're in that oh yeah. You're in that video game System Shock where it's like I am Shonan. And you're like that weird computer chick who's like stuck in the wall, you know, and like every time you talk, I am AI generated to control the
yeah,
you know.
And Chelsea Chandler, we should have changed our fucking picks on that fight too, but you know, it happens.
We should have known that she was a quitter and that she was a track athlete and that she'd run out of the cage before any of the action took place.
She ran out of blood. She ran out of too much blood from her period.
Well, I mean, that's why her shorts were red, right? That's why her whole outfit was red. It used to be white before. All I heard was,
I would hate to.
Womp, womp, womp. Good one, Sniff.
That'd suck to be her opponent. That'd have to suck for old girl though to be underneath her opponent and she had the rag.
Yeah,
it would not be a fun experience.
That's like dealing with Victoria Dudakova when she's on top of you. Oh, she's got her in a triangle. Oh no, the blood's coming out. It's pushing through. Oh, it's all over her face. My God.
Or for Rikishi or Yokozuna fucking stuck their big ass in your face.
Yeah, exactly. Stink face. Banzai!
All right, dude. That's all I wanted to come. That's the only reason why I wanted to come in here, dude, for the last few minutes. Told you I wasn't going to be all crazy or nothing. What you got on your shirts? Who is that? Is that fucking Holloway?
Yeah, the blessed one, Max Holloway, fighting in a few months. Yes, sir. I hope he does a fucking spinning back kick and fucking kicks that little gremlin from Spain right in the fucking face, dude. Fake Spaniard, you're from Georgia, bitch, and you and as it's Izzy Adesanya said, I will tell you where you are from. Check 23 and me, Ilya Taporia. I will kick you into the last century with all the other Spaniard colonizers. I will show you where you're from. Anyway, I'm Ace Ventura. Ah! 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 Ooh. But yeah, good old Jim Carrey, pet detective. That's me.
Bumblebee Tuna.
What was that?
Remember Bumblebee Tuna? Bumblebee Tuna from the second one. Chicago.
Well, Muhammad represents great to Muhammad. Shout out to your mother. That's good old Sean Moody on line 2. Feels like it's an Office Space reunion. I know, man. Oh God. What the fuck's his name? He's that guy from Office Space.
Bye.
Damn it, he's gone again. Hey, you know, if I could get that stapler from me. Yeah, there we go. That would be great. And if you could finish those TPS reports and if we could move your office down to the basement, we got a downsizing. So if you could get down there, that'd be great. Hey, Jim, what's happening? Thank you, Michael Bisping. Thank you. Anyway, what the hell else do I have to talk about? This has been a very productive show, but honestly, I think it's killing me deep down inside. With that being said, I think I saved my best for last. And I gotta set up the fucking outro shit. Look at what you brats make me do. All right. With that being said, oh shit. Imagine finding out your girlfriend had with Lumberg. Oh yeah, that would be horrible. Yeah, and if you could just get in that angle. Ooh, yeah, that's great, Jim. Ooh, that's wonderful. Hey, if I could have that girl over to my house by Saturday, that would be great. Thanks, Jim. What a great show. And with that being said, you have escaped the war zone for now. Ah! Ah!